All right, all right, all right. Try and get this bad boy going. All right, all right. What is up, son? All right, get this live going. What's good? What's good? What's good, everybody? It's your boy Gabriel, aka Civil. Back with another video, man, and I just wanted to take some time out to talk about something that God was dealing with me in prayer about, and what He brought up to me was entertainment. He brought up entertainment to me, and I know I'm kind of jumping in this a little abrupt, but I'm not going to be here long, so I'm going to kind of try and get in and get out. But what God was dealing with me about was entertainment. Entertainment. And what he was telling me and showing me is that we have to be careful what we entertain. We got to be careful what we entertain. Now some things are obvious. Some things are obvious. There's just some things you shouldn't entertain. There's just some things that you shouldn't even give any attention to. It's something, some things that are so obvious, that we're like, oh man, I never entertain that. But um, there's other forms of entertainment that we, I guess, because it's not something that is considered, inappropriate, or something that isn't considered necessarily wrong, we entertain it, and in turn we open ourselves up to some things that could potentially damage our character, damage who we are, damage the way we think. And we don't really think of it that way because, like I said, when it's not something that's so blatantly wrong, then you're kind of like, oh well, that's not a big deal. But God was dealing with me and showing me that what we entertain says a lot. Not only a lot about who we are, but it says a lot about what's going on the inside of us. A lot of times you can tell what somebody is dealing with based off of what they entertain in conversation, based off of what they entertain when they're watching something, based off of what they entertain by what they listen to, based off of the things that they spend time entertaining. See, entertainment isn't simply, it's not necessarily doing something, but entertainment could simply just giving something the time of day. It's kind of like if you're in the store or in the mall, there's always different types of people you encounter. I used to work in the mall, and while I was in the mall, I would have people trying to, hey man, let me clean your shoes real quick, man. Let me clean your shoes or whatever. Or you might come across somebody, hey man, you need your phone fixed. I could put a new screen on it, give you a new battery, yada yada yada. Or you come across somebody, you go into a store, hey man, can I help you out? Hey man, you seen these new shoes? And they're trying to sell you stuff. And the only way, and you'll notice this, that the only time you end up buying something is when you entertain the conversation. You get sucked into it, to the conversation, by entertaining it. And so entertainment is like a gateway, if we can look at it that way. If you look up what the word entertainment means, it literally means to provide with amusement or enjoyment, to give attention or consideration to an idea, suggestion, or feeling. So how is entertainment dangerous? And why is this even important? Why should we even think about entertaining things or not entertaining things if it's not something that we're actually doing? It's because entertainment it's like a bridge to something else. Entertainment is like it's like a connection, right? It's like it said, giving attention or consideration to. When you're entertaining something, you are considering something. And if you look in the scriptures, and Romans chapter 1 talks about this, it lists off all of this stuff that God does not like and that is damnable to him. And in the end, it says that God will not only bring judgment on those who commit these things, but also on those who take pleasure in those who do them. That means that's a form of entertainment. It's like you're not doing it, but you're entertaining it. You're giving some credence to it by simply entertaining the issue. And so what does that mean for us? What does that mean for you? How does this even apply to you? What you entertain is basically you giving a crack in the door. It's like if somebody knocks on your door and they're trying to sell you something, and you crack the door, just giving them enough room to say what they need to say. And so when we entertain certain things, when we entertain certain conversations, when we entertain certain things that we watch, or listen to, we are opening a crack in the door to whatever that is. So let's break it down a little more specifically. If you're a person who is seeking to walk in a life of purity and please God and so on and so forth, then you shouldn't have any cracks in your door for anything that will cause for you to be impure. And I'm not just talking about sexual impurity, I'm talking about in general. What you listen to matters. I know it's kind of ironic, but let's just talk about it. You have people who say, oh, like people will get in an uproar about, police brutality, and it's wrong, just to let you know. But we'll have people get in an uproar about police brutality and all of the horrible things that happen to certain communities, right? Within the Black community, within other communities, and other forms of issues and racism and so on and so forth, and discrimination and such. But then we'll listen to content that literally promotes killing one another, promotes selling drugs, promotes degrading women, and it's like, how does that make sense? It's a part of the issue. You're not doing the same thing they're doing, but you're entertaining it by listening to it every single day, and it's feeding your spirit daily. And you wonder why you don't have any respect for women. You wonder why you don't have any respect for your own people. It's because you're entertaining the very same thing that you say you have an issue towards. And it applies all around the board. It's not just in one community, it's all throughout. It's all throughout. How can we say oh, I'm a Christian, but I listen to and I watch and I entertain everything that is opposing to what I say I believe? It's entertaining it. Oh, well, I never do it. You're entertaining it. You're feeding it up. You're feeding yourself. I'll give you an example. Why do you think that people who do not want to serve God constantly get frustrated when somebody brings God up? Why do people get so mad? Like, all I did was ask you if you want to go to church. Why do you think people get so mad? It's because they don't want to entertain that, because their heart is set on going this direction, right? I don't even want to entertain that at all. I don't even want to hear that, bruh. I don't even want to hear nothing about that. But then when it comes to the world, right? And people on the side of trying to do good, why is it that we can entertain things that are of this world and not have the same level of aggression when it comes to that? But then on the other side, people have no issue with being aggressive towards things that they don't want it. They don't want it, right? So for us, we have to be intentional about our purity, intentional about what we entertain, because whether we choose to or not, subconsciously, the content that we intake every day, whether it's listening to a podcast, listening to music, watching, a talk show, whatever you're doing, just make sure that whatever you're entertaining, it is beneficial to your character, is beneficial to what you think is beneficial to what you're allowing within your spirit, because in reality, that's what you do every time you do something. That's what we're doing. Whatever we watch, it gets in our spirit. It's true. That's why it's called television programming. It's programming you to think a certain way, feel a certain way. Scientists even understand this, right? They understand this. If I show it to you enough, if I say it to you enough, it's going to get in your spirit and you're going to live it out. So it's the same principle with the things of God. If I read the word enough, if I pray enough. Now granted, we have to start off with the basis of faith, because if we don't want it, you got to ask yourself if you really want it. If you don't want it, then it doesn't matter if you do those things. But if you get in that word and you begin to pray and you begin to walk out what you're reading, you will begin to see the fruits of that word that's gotten in you. So in the same sense, when you're listening to music and there's certain songs you're listening to, and is getting in your spirit, it comes out naturally. There's songs that I've heard 2-3 times in my whole life, and I don't even be listening to them myself. I'll be at work and I'll hear these songs playing, and I could sing the words to the song after hearing it once or twice. You know why? Because it got in my spirit. So in the same sense, we have to just be mindful of what we entertain, even the conversations we entertain. If somebody comes to you and they talking bad about somebody, it's not edifying conversation. Don't continue in the conversation, because it's gonna get in your spirit. This is how people's reputations get destroyed, because people always talking about one another. That's entertaining it. Even if you're not even saying nothing bad, you letting it in your spirit because you listening. We gotta be careful what we entertain. We gotta be careful who we entertain, because just like God understands that when the word gets in your heart, it'll transform you. The devil also understands that if he can get as much darkness in your heart, that he can change you. And so we and not on the same level, but I'm just giving a parallel for you. So in essence, just be careful what you entertain. Be careful what you entertain, because whether you're intentionally trying to entertain something or not, you have to be intentional. You have to be intentional, because things are going to get in your spirit. I'll give you a couple scriptures and I'll call it a day. I believe it's Proverbs chapter 13, where it talks about, it says, he that walks with wise men will be wise, but a companion of fools will be destroyed. That means that whoever you hang with, you're going to be like them. So if you hang out with a bunch of people who all they want to do is party, all they want to do is, do a whole bunch of stuff that you shouldn't be doing, you're going to do it too, because that's your friends. That's just the reality of the situation. Everything that your friends do, you do. It just is what it is. If you're going to keep hanging with them, you are going to do it. Just like if you hang with a group of people who are doing good and you stay around them long enough, you're going to begin to take on some of the practices that they take on. And it says, if you walk with wise men, you'll be wise, because you'll be around wisdom all the time. If you walk with fools, you'll be foolish, because you'll be around fools all the time. And so that's just kind of a basic, way of kind of explaining this, is that what you entertain affects your life. What you listen to, what you watch every day. Sometimes we just subconsciously click on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and we just play stuff all day, and we wondering why this stuff is in us all day, right? And so I just want to encourage you to really start being intentional about what you entertain, who you entertain, what conversations you entertain, what you watch, what you listen to, because all of it it's kind of like you're a sponge, and you're just soaking in all of this stuff all day, every day. And that's what's shaping who you are. So hopefully this encourages you and builds you up. Hopefully this kind of pokes at your heart a little bit and makes you really start thinking about, well, man, what am I listening to? What am I entertaining? who am I listening to? Like even some of your friends, they'll come to you with all this outlandish stuff. Bro, like, man, listen, I ain't got time for it. You gotta start shaping your day by determining what you're going to entertain, determining what you're going to do, you know, and it'll really help you out. I give you an example for myself, and I'll call it a day because I've been on here a little long. Um, I remember I woke up in the day because I like YouTube. I like YouTube, and I like to listen to the latest sports take. I like to listen to battle rap and stuff like that. And I woke up one day and I said, man, I'm not gonna listen to none of this stuff today. I'm gonna kind of just focus on other things. And my day went better. My day went better. It's not that those things were bad. It's just they were taking up too much time in my day. You know, it actually took away time. It made me feel like I ain't accomplished nothing, even though I was doing stuff while I was doing it. Uh, definitely, yeah. Um, yeah. So it's important, that we just continue to carry ourselves with, with good character, and do what we need to do. Definitely. Certainly so. Yeah, you can definitely have an impact on the people around you. And that's kind of what I was talking about earlier. Like, says, he that walk with wise men shall be wise, but that a companion of fools will be destroyed. And basically what that's saying is this: you can go into a situation and have an impact on other people. But what I'm mainly talking about is this: is that, who you spend most of your time around is important. Because some people are not strong enough to hang around. Like, granted, I don't think nobody who, somebody who used to deal with a certain thing should be hanging around all of the same people they used to hang with before. Now, granted, you can get free from the things that you used to deal with, and go back and have an impact in those people's lives. But I'm more so talking about, people who are hanging out with people, like people who are trying to find their identity, and they're spending all their time around the wrong people. I remember thinking back in college, man, hearing about one of my cousins. And the crazy thing is, I didn't even know him that well, but my mom told me about how he was hanging around the wrong people. He used to hang around drug dealers. He'd be going to parties with them. And next thing you know, one day he went to a party with these dudes, and these people started shooting at the other guy and ended up killing my cousin. And it's like, he never did any of that stuff, but he got killed because of who he was spending his time around. And so I'm not saying, necessarily that you need to just avoid everybody in life, but more so just saying, just choose your friends wisely. And we should have an impact, a greater impact than anybody else, and that starts with knowing who you are, and having a firm foundation on that, and knowing who God is, number one, but knowing who you are in relation to God. And so yeah, man, that's pretty much the gist of what I was talking about. I hope this encouraged some people, man, because I know I dealt with this myself in a good portion of my life, really worried about what other people thought about me. Granted, I had a knowing of who I was, but I let other people influence what I thought about myself, and it made me deal with depression. It made me feel bad about myself, because it seemed like people will always just be, I don't know, just weird towards me. And I'm like one of the most easygoing, one of the most easygoing individuals you're gonna meet. And so I'm like, dang, why people always act like this? But it's like, at the end of the day, you just got to be confident in who you are, and know that who you are is, you don't have to prove yourself to nobody else. You just got to be who God made you to be. And that's enough. That's enough. So, hopefully this encourages, somebody, and really being intentional about how you carry yourself, intentional about what you entertain on a daily basis, because it does matter. I mean, you'll find out that some of the most successful people became successful not by just one big move, but by a bunch of gradual decisions they made. And that's really all life is a bunch of decisions. So you really got to think about the small stuff, because it accumulates. When you think about trash in your car, it's not like you just dump the garbage can in your car. It's day by day, one little small wrapper or gum wrapper, that wrapper, that. Next thing you know, you got your whole car a mess. And it's because all of them small decisions you made. And so it's the small stuff that has an impact over time. So hopefully this encouraged somebody. I said that like 4 times, but I hope this helps you. I hope this encourages you. Be intentional about what you do each day, because God, man, God wants you to be intentional. He, just like God is intentional, he said he numbered the hairs in your head. Every single one of these little hairs on my head got a number to God. That's real. So we got to be intentional too about, the things that we do, because it does matter. All right, y'all. Y'all have a blessed day. Uh, and hopefully this encouraged somebody. And I know for sure it's helping me. God be helping me, y'all. I'm telling you, God be helping me, man. I be like, thank you, God, because sometimes we can go through stuff and be like, dang, bro, like what I'm supposed to do. And you try to talk to people, and some people, it's not that they trying to be negative, it's that because they don't understand, they kind of just, they can only give you what they can give you in that moment. But God always got the right answer, man. I'm telling you, he always got the right answer. He's always helping me with little stuff. I'm talking about like little things. Like he be helping me with my diet. He be helping me with everything. And so that's a blessing to me. So I try to just share as much as I can, and hopefully it helps somebody else. So anyways, y'all have a blessed day. I pray God's will continue to be done in your life. I pray that God will continue to open your understanding about him. I pray that he would reveal truth to you in such a real way, in a tangible way. And I pray that God would begin to help you understand who you are, and show you your purpose, and show you the importance of each day, that you can have an impact just by your daily decisions. And so I pray you guys have a blessed day, and I pray God's will continue to be done in your life. God bless. Yeah. We just finished up the live. Thank y'all for tuning in. Once again, it's your boy Gabriel, aka Civil. If you are not a subscriber, go ahead and subscribe. Turn on your notifications to get notified every time we go live. Praise God. Y'all have a good day, man.